Cosplay. When someone is dressing up as a character from a movie, a book, comic, show, and video game. For example, we could dress up from Sailor Moon, Big Hero 6, Deadpool, Supernatural, Kingdom Hearts, and more. With cosplay, we can be ourselves, but also a character that we love. Anyone can cosplay anyone they want. If you're a boy, then you can be a girl, and if you're a girl, you can be a boy. Most people won't judge you in the cosplay world because we all have stuff in common and we would rather have fun and make friends. Even though we have a good time with it, most guys actually don't want to be a part of it. In a survey, there was 966 people who volunteered. 249 were males, while there were 717 females, which makes it only 25% of men in the survey cosplayed, and 75% with girls who cosplayed. It is believed that most guys don't get involved with cosplay because they believe it is more feminine, because we dress up and put makeup on. Now, how do we get our cosplays? I know what you're probably thinking. You can buy it or just make it with patterns on a sewing machine. Well, with us, it's more than that. You can just buy it, but most of us actually make it. We try to be as creative as possible into making our cosplays. We can make fur out of yarn or even a prop gun out of cardboard. We do this because, one, we can save money, to be honest, and for two, so that we make sure to find a way to always make a cosplay. I will show you 4 people, including myself, answer questions about cosplay and the cosplay community. What do we think when we see all these other cosplays?
It is both a good and bad thing seeing all these cosplays, all these other cosplays. Good because it gives you a feeling of like wanting to reach that level that that other person is at, and it gives you motivation, determination to get to that level, and we all need that little push to get us there. And it's not a good thing, but it's also not a bad thing. It's not a good thing because sometimes you need to know your limits, but other times it's good to push beyond your limits, and it gives you a good feeling.
I think, oh, that's cool, they're showing what they love. They're gonna meet a lot of people that have a lot in common with them. They're expressing themselves. And that's just completely awesome.
When I see all these other cosplayers, I'm like, wow, they're all amazing, and it helps encourage me to do more with cosplay. Because before I would always buy cosplay, and after seeing all these cosplayers who made their own cosplays, it just encouraged me to do more, and that's how I got more into making cosplay. Because of the encouragement. So when I see all these other cosplayers, I think they're awesome, and it's great how just seeing them is encouraging for people to make their own cosplays or just a cosplay period.
I think it's a good thing and a bad thing because when you see a cosplay that's better than you, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be like that one day, but at the same time, if you aren't particularly good at making cosplay, it's like, I'm never gonna get there. And then you sob in a corner and think about your life. But I think it's ultimately a good thing because if we didn't have that, then where would you have to go from there? Like what would then define what is good and what is not good?
Why do we cosplay?
Expressing what they love. They're showing that they're a fan from something, and you get to meet other people from that same thing.
Cosplay is a form of expressing myself. It is it is not easy to live in this world when you are a complete weirdo. There's a lot of ridicule, and it's not easy to make friends, and when you dress up, it feels like you're completely anonymous.
Amen to that.
Like, it's still you, but it's not you. You get to portray someone who you're not usually, or you feel more confident wearing what you're wearing, and you can do things that you don't normally do, like walk up to some strangers and be like, yo, what's up? That's right, I'm sexy. and that's all the fun of cosplay, you know?
To me, cosplay is a way to express myself and be who I am without feeling like I am constantly being judged. Yes, I know that's a little weird to say when people do sometimes judge your cosplays, but it's also a way to express yourself in a healthy way and to just get you out there, and it just really helps your self-confidence. I should know I've gone from, oh god, there are all these people here judging me and watching me, and I know they must be talking smack about me, to, hi people, I love you all, you're gorgeous, I'm gorgeous, we're all gorgeous. And that's good, because we all need a little confidence, and cosplay is my way of getting my confidence.
I cosplay for fun, and not only that, but to be myself. Even though I am a different person when it comes to cosplay, it helps me be myself more, because you're in a disguise. Nobody will know who you actually are. So with that, you can be more outgoing, because they don't know who you are. They only know you of who you're cosplaying as. So it really does help your self-confidence with it, because people don't know who you are. And with that, it's like, hey, I can actually talk more to people. And with that, it just gives you more confidence with it, because it just helps you be more outgoing. It helps you be yourself more and such. And I love to encourage others when it comes to cosplay, so I always cosplay because I love to encourage others to do the same, or to make their own cosplays. I do it for myself to have fun, and I also do it so I can be me, so I can be myself while cosplaying somebody else, and sharing the persona of who I am. What do we think is great about cosplay?
What makes cosplay great is that it just gets people together. Like, you get to meet people that you have something in common with. That's how I first met Kaylee, and we were just dressed as something from the same thing, and now she's one of my best friends.
Something you've put a lot of work into and that you're proud of. Something that you look at and you're like, hey, I made that. I made that from scratch. I'm pretty proud of what I did. I used what I could to do it, and that's good. Because what makes cosplay so great is that you put your own work into it. You can take something that's already been made, put your own twist in it, and show everyone how creative you can be. That's something amazing. It's something that's really admirable, and some people are just like, hey, there's Sailor Moon, I'm gonna cosplay the normal Sailor Moon. But someone else is like, here's Sailor Moon, but wonder what would happen if I did this and added that, and it just turned into your own creation. It's still the character you're cosplaying, but you added your own twist into that, and that's amazing. That's something that anyone can do, but they can't, take your exact design and be like, hey, look at this, I made this too out of my own thought, and I made this too, but yours is different from mine, but hey, I think it goes together in our theme. I think that's pretty awesome.
What's great about cosplay is that in the community, even though there is negatives, there's also a lot more positives in my opinion, because most of us are very accepting. We're a very accepting community. So whenever I see all these other cosplayers in the community helping out others with their cosplays, and I just find it great, because that's what makes cosplay great, is that everybody helps out no matter what.
You get into your character and you can be that person that you're portraying.
Is there any negatives to the cosplay community? There's definitely negatives in the cosplay community, because even though we are a very accepting community, there's still other people who will judge you and always wants to be the perfect cosplayer and would just put anybody down when they don't meet their expectations, which includes your weight, your body shape, your skin color, your everything, basically, because they think that the perfect cosplay has to look exactly like the cosplay. And it's ridiculous, because everybody should cosplay. Not only that, when cosplayers wear more revealing outfits, people usually think, oh, she's a slut or and such. But the thing is, that person's just cosplaying a character who they love. So yeah, there's definitely negativity with it, all because of judging. But other communities have people who judge each other too.
There will always be negatives. There will always be someone there to slander the community's good name. People are just unable to go without ruining it for everyone. People will always find fault in something that no one else will care about. Currently, the biggest problem is slandering cosplayers for their skin color, their weight, and even their ethnicity.
There are plenty of negatives. There's a lot of ridicule that cosplayers face because a lot of people don't understand like why you do what you do, or why you dress the way you dress, or why the way you are, and a lot of people they just don't get that. And there's those cosplayers that have a bad experience with a different fandom, and then they don't like that fandom, and so they treat all these other people who are in that fandom that same way that they were treated, and it's a vicious circle. And that's really hard for a lot sometimes. Yes. And there are also people who think you shouldn't cosplay this character or that character because they're not that weight, they're not that height, they're not that color, you're not right for that character. What?
Gender.
Oh, that's not the gender of the character, that's true. That's not your gender. But it doesn't matter. Cosplay is a way of expressing yourself. It's just like wearing clothes. Except better. And those people irritate me. They're like, no, you can't do that. Well, guess what? I am doing that, and there ain't nothing you can do to stop me, girl. But yeah, there's plenty of negatives, but there's plenty of positives too, so, it's worth it.
The negatives in the cosplay community is just the stigma on what people think it is. They think it's just a bunch of nerds in costumes, or like giving sluts an excuse to dress very revealing. No, like just because a girl is dressed like some of the girls in Mortal Kombat with the very revealing dresses with the slits all the way up their thighs, like stopping at the hip basically, doesn't mean, oh, she's a slut, I can get with her. No, you just love the character. Just like how I've seen plenty of guys in dresses. There was a guy that, it doesn't mean you're gay. I saw a guy in a full Victorian dress there with his girlfriend, and they were so happy, and it was just something fun to do together.
There's always going to be a small group of negative people in every community, including the cosplay community. Besides that, we love to have fun. Accept anyone into our community or cosplay groups. It's easier to make friends. We get to be characters we love. We also get to be very creative with what we do. We get to be ourselves in disguise, since you get to be yourself without having to worry about people knowing who you actually are. And that's what cosplay is about. Having fun and being accepted.